Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets to the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope y'all care, so share. And yes, please, the comments sound off. Y'all are not shy, so I expect to see you guys down there, going at it. What a time I had. Oh my gosh, the national senior and junior championships, mainly the senior because I really didn't focus on the juniors. Y'all know my channel. I really want to highlight the senior athletes, whether it be from a collegiate perspective or, professional perspective. Right. So that being said, I had a time, it was my first time covering the national senior championships from that perspective. And I have to say, the support for the athletes for me personally was immense. The grandstand stayed filled as far as I'm concerned, for the athletes. And I was wondering if, it was because the bleachers was closed, why it seemed as though there were more people here this year than any other year, right? But I have to say, Trackies, I did see, immense turnout for the athletes. And some people were suggesting perhaps, the opening of the bleachers, right? But it wasn't opened. But I have to say, as I said, the turnout for me was really, really good, in support of the athletes. From a TXC track time perspective, it was crazy. On the ground, I was like, oh my gosh, the support for TXT track time was otherworldly. I didn't have any clue that TXT track time was this impactful, and I'm so thankful. It's crazy. I don't want to start crying. Okay. Also, online as well, the support was there. You guys turned up, you watched the videos, you commented, you gave constructive criticism as well. You decided to not really take it easy on me. I got, beat up a little bit. But guys, literally, it was my first time. So there's a lot to, learn and grow in this space. And I'm willing to learn and grow as well. As you guys can see, a lot of your, opinions, was implemented in a timely fashion as well. So as I said, I really appreciate the support. And yes, to bigger and better things, on to bigger and better things when it comes to TXC track time. I want to touch on in this video, what was at the national, senior championships. And it was highlighted to me that Yohan Blake would be running for the last time in the national stadium. And I did kind of touch on it in a video, but I was reminded to ensure that I do highlight that in case you all forgot, in case the world forgot, this would be Yohan Blake's last time gracing the national stadium. And I wanted to take the time out to say thank you to Yohan Blake. Clearly, he was overshadowed, by Shelly Fraser Price, also retiring, and it would be her last time, competing in the national stadium. And many people seemingly, overlooked him because he's not on top right now. And let's be clear, this is the nature of sport. So I can't really fault the fans per se, for overlooking Yohan Blake in this, final moment. But it's the onus of, persons that are commentating, in my opinion, to remind the public that, one of our greats will also be gracing the track for the last time. I don't think I heard that in the stadium. If it did happen, I apologize. But whilst I was there, I don't recall, any kind of highlights being done for a Yohan Blake. And I definitely think that was a missed moment. And I don't want him to leave the sport thinking that we're not appreciative for every single thing he has done for Jamaica. Yes, he was representing himself. We know these athletes are representing themselves, but of course, Jamaica does benefit, and we have benefited immensely from his immense talent. So, thank you, Yohan Blake. Starting off, for Jamaica, a national junior record. He clocked a 10.11 seconds. No, it's no longer the national junior record, but at the time, that 10.11 seconds was absolutely crazy. And as I said, Yohan Blake has literally impacted Jamaica at every, phase, whether it be the junior level and the senior level. So it started out, for some things to note, let's put it that way, because he has done, other things outside of, just having a national junior record. But things to always remember that he held that national junior record at one point in time, 10.11 seconds. And then, when he matriculated to the senior ranks, he became the youngest ever world champion at 21 years old. 2011, I'll never forget. It was a time when Jamaica had, amazing sprinters in one race, one that is the world record holder and another one that was up and coming. Unfortunately, the world record holder false started, seemingly threw off, the Jamaicans in the race, because we also had Nestor Carter in that race as well, and he was completely thrown off. And the thought process was, would Yohan Blake be able to hold his nerve? And hold his nerve he did, walking away with that win, 9.92 seconds at the time. Two, become the youngest ever world champion. Now, Yohan Blake since then went on to also, clock these fastest performances ever in Olympics history with a 9.75 seconds. No other athlete has run 9.75 seconds and placed second in an Olympic final. That would be good enough to win. Crazy, crazy times. If scratch a Usain Bolt out of the conversation, then clearly, we would have had another amazing winner, for the Olympic Games. So as I said, he has his fastest time in the 100 meters ever, and also incidentally 200 meters from an Olympic perspective, 19.44 seconds. No other athlete has run that fast and placed second in a race. Managing to attain so much is absolutely phenomenal. Now, of course, trackies, though I mentioned those times of a 9.75 seconds and of course a 19.44 seconds being the fastest times for second place in an Olympic game finals, I want to point out that Yohan Blake to date is still the second fastest athlete ever over the 100 meters and the 200 meters with his 9.69 seconds in the 100 meters and his 19.26 seconds in the 200 meters. A phenomenal sprinter. When it comes to the legacy of sprinting in Jamaica, Yohan Blake has definitely left his mark. Now, unfortunately, he did suffer on, as far as I'm concerned, untimely, injury, which really curtailed his career. 2013, he suffered that injury and he was never really able to go on and attain certain heights that we thought he could have. But as I said, that doesn't take away from what he has done for Jamaica. And as I said, he has etched himself in the annals of history representing Jamaica. So in case you don't know, Yohan Blake is a two-time Olympic champion. He has won the 4x100 meters representing Jamaica twice. That is 2012 and 2016. And also, he's a two-time world champion, 2011, the 100 meters. And also, track is the 4x100 meters. They broke the world record in 2011. They went on to break it again in 2012. And also, track is he is a two-time Olympic silver medalist, of course, getting silver in the 100 meters in 2012 and silver in the 200 meters, clocking, as I said, the fastest time ever for silver at the Olympic Games. Crazy, crazy performances from a Yohan Blake. In 2025, he would wrap up his career where he would take to the track at the National Stadium for one final shot representing Jamaica at the upcoming World Championships that will be coming up in September.
Elena Yohan, one of the greats, world champion in 2011, double Olympic silver in 2012, second fastest man in history, 9.69 seconds.
Unfortunately, he wasn't to be, but he did turn up with his best performance of the season, where he made it to the semifinals in the men's 100 meters and clocked a 10.19 seconds in that race in his semifinal. Unfortunately, not progressing to the finals. But as I said, he definitely turned up with his best. So with that being said, trackies, Yohan Blake concluded competing for Jamaica at the National Senior Championships 2025. So I want to take this time out to yet again say thank you to Yohan Blake. His immense representation for himself and, of course, Team Jamaica makes sure that he is etched in the annals of history for Jamaica when it comes to our sprinting legacy. His achievements will never be forgotten. Thank you. All right, so trackies, with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yohan Blake takes to the track in Kingston for one last time to represent Jamaica. Doesn't make it to the finals in the men's 100 meters. However, I just want to let you all know that I'm still thankful and still grateful. Let me hear your support in the comment section for Yohan Blake. Send him your love and let him know that, yes, we have not forgotten him at all and we'll always remember his great achievements. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.